Everybody say, say, how can I express my gratitude for all the many things you've done for me? Words are not enough to say thank you. Say, Lord, you are my everything. You're my everything. How can I express my gratitude? How can I express my gratitude for all the many things Father, you done for me, yeah. Words are not enough to say thank you. So Lord, you are, you're my everything. Say, I call you Jireh. You're my provider. I call you Eunice. You are my banner. I call you Rapha. Hey. You are my healer. Say, Lord, you are. You're my everything. I call you Jireh. You're my provider. I call you Eunice. You are my banner. I call you Rapha. You are my healer. Say, Lord, you are. You're my everything. Who am I thinking now? Who am I thinking now? Who am I thinking now? Oh, who am I thinking now? Yeah, so who am I thinking now? Who am I thinking now? Yeah, who am I thinking now? Oh, who am I thinking now? Say, I call you Jireh, say, I call you Jireh. You're my provider. I call you Eunice. You are my banner. I call you Rapha. Hey. You are my healer. Say, Lord, you are my everything. Yeah. Are you ready, everybody? All right, listen. William Miguel, come here. 1, 2, 3. I can breathe without you, say. I can breathe without you. I can move without you, Lord. I can move without you. Hey, who am I without you? Who am I without you? Say, I can live without you, yeah. I can live without you. I can breathe without you, Lord. I can breathe without you. I can move without you, yeah. I can move without you. Who am I?
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Depending on your location, I send you greetings from BWF Solicitors Legal Hour Studios. And then so me ma ankra bia kwaba eba yadwumedi so ansa na mekoso acheche ni memo no medican apamu nyina acho abra emre no akọ echiri kakra eya na eto de bia enye yen na enti se mo atwen ya acha mfa nche yen yo yebekọ yenim enen so adom ne nti no yenya hoden yenya nkwa enya ano na yade edwumedi eba aye BWF Solicitors Legal Hour so na ohwe me safei na wabeto me anase watwen me ache na wehu me sisi ade a ene mesre we ni die mo bomodia ne pianeti ko frefre adofo fro nua bi na ka kire se emre na som eka kakra but aso ama ya ye nua bema ye papa ye lawyer papa bi ode nkyerɛkyerɛ eba na sa nkyerɛkyerɛ ehia nti no obia entie bi nti wadofo ewo WhatsApp so ewo Facebook so YouTube so Twitter so X chese bebia Instagram bebia no mombo modia enhye empiapia netiko na obia enya sa ade ya yebeye enya ho mfaso menua ba tilidoma michia baby biara wo menua be manana agimman michiachia mo nyina bebia mo wo enemre ne kontime ma mekasa enye tenten meko straight to the point and then so senior tibia no isan say lawyer omo akware edamo na ye ne omo ye adwuma ne nti no abre bia omo de omo ni toto form near air corner bana and Crawford who bubo near the adeno no marco fano babe church remove fico senior beya ubenya udie and now chefa efree mo na also dear to anamo and internet ne yakwa for topic ya you who say and Crawford be brave edin bubo. Etore bia ye keka akasa din a eya na ebi mu nte ase obeka se wo kromo a ana oyi uni na sei ene ye ba be chechire nwa kakra na ansa na meyi topic na edi no mema me resource person ano nso de nchie mu ohwam emu ode ema etiefo na ahwefo na afei no se kakra wo ho a ayembia ade e friend update home office for de ade chi na ade se nyina no na omudi bibi eba embia na de kode no ate embia na wonte ye eno ani update over the night or over the period of the week no something abaso no maybe sa no se bibi sa wo ho a mema na aka se bibi ani sa de a na afei na ma introduce ye topic no na ye de abetudwa enti lawyer Charles Mpacho mema wa kwaba badwumedie ne so Mpacho bibi aboko e wo ho de
Yamiadum na yamiadum pa Pachawunswe.
menso adom ne ahwɛ yie me ho yɛ papaapa enti no mɛma
Yamiadum.
wakwanya no na wode nkyia ama tiefo ne ahwɛfoɔ.
Yo, etiefo ne ahwefo ende efieda anopai enso bebi a wo bia ye chia wo. Yeda wase nso se wenya bre. Sendenso obeka ye ho na yesua ade. Update ni de bebre no aba no ano yaka yabɔ ne dewuro nti ende no yebekɔ straight to the topic enso ehia pa emayen no retention of right. And then na yebi say we say den na adentia na kwan ben so na yebefa na yenso yenya sa retention of right no emu efaso. And then nkomo a yebetwetwe no yeda wase.
Yo, lawyer Asma, we de medase. When ya ti won kakra die, ene me mfa mbo so e dodo na maba so nyina mesrɛ mo. Mede nchia kese ema mom na mesrɛ bibi kakra mo ncheche na nkwa chichichichi maye. Yo, enti sami producer hwɛ me a mesrɛ obetimi de topic no ene say yes EU settle status no based on retained right. Eya na eto de bia legal terms no ana we beka legal terminologies no enye obia na ya na yete ase sometimes ubeti na ye o say oh what ya nti uti ase enso no answer na yebisa o say ye ka say obia retaining the right ase kire so bo nsa fe na ututu papa so ti say lawyers pe omonim omo asua ho ade omo no motia se tumi kyerɛkyerɛ ase ma wonya nte ase yie na won so wode ato abrabɔ ho enti no ene ye topic e ato ne say EU settle status based on retained right no ye behwɛ the water or say woye ye behwɛ the wire ewo say woyɛ saa ade no na afei how a wobetumi ayɛ saa ade no na won so we retain your right na wode atena afebɔ ewo krom ha enti eno na ye ba behwɛ na mo me a menye lawyer ni nti no mentumi encheche mu ene nti na ye nua bema ye papa ye lawyer papa bi lawyer Charles Asma ewo ha ene obecheche mu na yehu adekode enti no medical ebisa no sa EU settle status ne kra no eno ne de ade ansana menya based on retain right no ye can retain right no so no so ye adekuben ade ben eden de kire answer ne abehwe no the what ne abehwe the why na de be abehwe the how a ye betumi yenso yenya saa ejinaso no ye friend retain right no na ye de ato anamo nti Asma mesa atonsa afro biom sama wakwa be biom na enemy question am de abetudwa no bigidi se wo na obetumi acheche me mu acheche me ase na metumi nya nte ase na me de ato anamo enti no ye can you settle status based on retain right no kwadaroma ede na obeka afa ho
Yo, me da say na ye etiefo ne ahwefo. Sene yenim no ye wo European Union na ewo ho anasa still ewo ho anyway na UK eka ho na efis no anti na nia ewo EU mu no UK citizens no esese omunya ebi na emu bi ni immigration free movement of people. Na ekoba say UK befi EU mu. Na UK fi EU mu na akoba say NDS say UK fi EU mu. Na family members now more right that no within the treaty provisions no. Then na ombenya. Na akoba say sadia wa family member wa mu dada whatever it is no wobetumi abɔ bra na omode EUSS ebaye European Union Settlement Scheme. Na European Union Settlement Scheme no nyina ne say EU for and our family members person witna UK or mem no ombetumi aye application na omo atene mu ema na ye yie. Na question is say me ye EU ni na maware na aware no egu anasa aware no engina for example anasa BBSC bi owu akoba saa nimpa no a oye me family member na ogina me so enya UK asetena no ne situation ebeye den owuo ba ebeye den na awaregya nso ba ebeye den na mra no na ekan ne se we EU family member na we ne we EU family member no neti na waji asetena ama wo UK a ye 5 years sa na owuo ekoba owuo no ya fault santi yentumi enka so owuo aba enti eno ano no sa no akwenya na wo right no that right will be retained. The next one is my name is family na ho na awaregya akwaba me yere me kunu awaregya akwaba eno no me lusu akwenya na me wo a odegye nkrata no ma me no ana again ne akwaba ne say no sa awaregya ehia say ye be punish sa nimpa no sa nti nimpa no betumi aye application ne breso a na ne obaka ne say I had the right na BBC and my right has been retained for me under the rules. Nti ne yehwemu a ne yeka ne nyina ne say under EU rules say owu eba na fa worigyae eba nipa no a oye EU family member no ne right under EU no NCZ santi obetwa ne life so. And it is very good because untumi mpanishi nimpa no wonia esi no ho. Nti saa nyama no yɛfrɛ no supervening event. Supervening events. Nti supervening event no ɛba a wo a woyɛ EU family member no a woda EU ni no so no. Even though woni ni hɔ biom anase bibi nti muntem atete. But your right as a family member will remain with you. Tini yɛhwɛ mu a your right as a family member is permanent, provided even if there is a break, you can prove it say breaker a buyer and nie. Enti na kyerɛ sɛ ɛyɛ very very helpful. Yona metuma o.
Yo, Matiasie, any na afei na menya emontiasie ye base sa menya sa retention of right no. Enti etiefo a mo hwe yen se afei no wadwan we are actually talking about EU settled status based on retain right no. Ye behwe afei na ye du bebia ye behwe the what, the why and the how sa adewe etumi fa so na ye de nya. Enti lawyer Charles edikan achecha aseɛ sɛ ebetumi eni edikan retention of rights and I said to retain your right no mbia na ya ware gyae ana say separation ana say you can say said nipa na ogina ne so no waka baabi eno no akyerɛ saa de mu nyinaa na yenya monti ase lawyer Charles medasi ye afe ye ba behwe when yenya senior no you can't the water, not just said the what to do and sawosaka sa retain right no and I said the what to do abrawenya retain right no now they are two and more that with him.
Water. The water no yɛ retain right no kra no ɛyɛ den. Ɛyɛ den and then ɛyɛ akyerɛ mu no. So we've dealt with what is a retained right or retention of right under EU. Nea yɛka no nyinaa ne sɛ retention of right akwanyi bi a ɛwɔ mmara no mu a EU4 family members ɛna ɛwɔ sɛ biribi kwesi na ɔmo family relationship no biribi ekosi na kwan anasɛ ɛte kɔ a anasɛ ɛni hɔ bi mu a akwanya bɛn na ɛwɔ hɔ ma wɔn ɛno ne retention of right no ma nea ɛwɔ mu ne sɛ saa retention of right no ɛnyɛ sɛ for example midway into your limit of residence ɛna wobɛkɔ akɔ sɛ meyɛ application na mepa kyɛ ne sɛ obi wɔ mu a ne kunu ewu ne yere ewu anaasɛ aware no egu ɛtam aware no gu na ɔntwa 5 years anaasɛ ɛtam a ne kunu wu yɛ na ɔntwa 5 years anaasɛ ne yere wu yɛ na ɔntwa 5 years na pre-settled 5 years no na ɛnso yɛ yɛde ama wo na owuo akɔba anaasɛ awaregyae akɔba wonim sɛ wontwa 5 years because the nipa no te ase anaasɛ aware no ngui a nka wobɛtwɛn 5 years before you go for indefinite leave to remain ɛyɛ settled status ne wotwa 3 years nipa no ewu na wo sɛ wode application kɔtum because what is say wotumi akɔgye retain right no ɛnyɛ application foforɔ a wokɔ akɔyɛ ɛyɛ application no a wobɛyɛ no a na mmom woyɛ on the basis sɛ nipa no a wogyina no so no woni hɔ biem but you have your right intact or kept nti a preserve right no ama wo ɛhyɛ freezer nti woyɛ ready a na wakɔ akɔfa na use question is time bɛn na wobɛyɛ ready time a wobra so sɛ woyɛ indefinite leave to remain ɛyɛ 5 years after pre-settled status date anaasɛ 5 years after marriage date sɛ moware wɔ UK ɔman mu a nti moma yɛhyɛ ɛwɔ no so because lot of time no na yɛ a nkurɔfoɔ ɔmo de application atum na after lawyer ɔmo de tum no ɔmo atena ma 5 years biem meanwhile me kunu ewu anaasɛ me yere ewu anaasɛ aware no egu me de kɔtum no ɔmo atena ma 5 years biem wobisa then wobɛhu nyinaa ne sɛ ne 5 years na yɛde maa no nso yɛ nti time nso yɛ saa anka wobɛyɛ indefinite leave to remain no ɛna pocket lawyers advises that retention and if I go to refuse and I say I'm out the same thing. Inti mama yanka say retention of right and yet application nembum a rule within the EU immigration rules. Actually says we EU ni na what time so wo kwaje afebo no certain status no nambum oba no anasa bema no a be sponsor wo no wewu anasa aware no egu nti oni wo life mi bi mu a you can still make the indefinite leave to remain application because what time was so but we argue say aware no egu 3 years ago nti bema no anasa oba no oni ho a obe support me application ti mia na meye anasa wo akoba ti bema na anasa oba no we film santi mia na meye anasa me papa no anasa me maame no a ode me baaye no we film nti mia na meye anasa me sister no anasa me brother no anasa extended family member na ode me baaye no we film nti mia na meye made ekoba saa na o meka no say ndie sponsor na nka SSR oma evidence now the support to application you don't need that sponsor again because of that event akoba no and because say nipa ni ho nti o mehwe time wa event no esiye na ebisa say before event no besi no then na o a say sa family member no owo life mu enti moma yenhye ehwo no enso you only put in the application when you have exhausted your pre-settled status limit. The last 1 month, now what they are under retained right provisions.
Hey, and ya fe na ye te ase ye because na nim say ye can say application bi or so ye but say what trend say ye principle na say ye policy na che say senior wo church mu no na eduru ho na wo time aso no na afei o say wo ko enim no na eno na ebe che say we retaining right na say on retention na eto de bia aware na say depending on someone I say akoye say akwantuo bi enti wo to kwan na nipa ko ne na itu kwan no ekodu beebi no na wagya wo nkwantemfi anaasɛ wagya wo abramo hyɛ aseɛ na wagya na mmom mmerɛ no a mo hyɛ mo akwantuo no aseɛ no wone ne tena kakra either sɛ yɛ aware o anaasɛ yɛ wo maame anaa wo papa a wode pɛne na wode ɛyɛ yiyifoɔ abusuafoɔ ho asɛm na yɛka no nti akɔdu baabi na afei gyene no a mokɔ no ɛso atwa wo deɛ ne deɛ ɔsɛ ka wotoa so na wokɔ nti ɛbɛkɔ akɔdu baabi no na ɛbɛkyerɛ sɛ saa wotumi retain wo right no anaasɛ wantumi retain asma me deɛ mate aseɛ yie ɛwɔ sɛnea makyerɛkyerɛ me mu deɛ mate aseɛ saa ama me ho enti no sisi a wakyerɛ yɛn sɛ wakyerɛ adekode a ɛyɛ retention of right no mmerɛ enti yɛmfa ne sɛ sisi a no sɛ ɛba ne sɛ mene nipa ko no etu kwan anaasɛ awareɛ na menim sɛ nka modi kan wareɛ no yɛma mfie num na ɛbɛma wo no na nka mfie num ne du a na watoa so akɔgye indefinite enti no mmerɛ bi nso atwa mu yɛnim sɛ nka wone ne tumi tena mpo ekodu mfie mmiɛnsa na nka awaregya ɛba deɛ a wokyerɛkyerɛ nneɛma bi a na wei na sɛ woka biribi sɛ nipa ko no a mene tu saa anamo no edu baabi no mentumi enya ne biribiara ɛmfa nka ho na memfa retain me right anaasɛ memfa ntoa ma akwantuo ne so anaasɛ memfa ntoa me application ne so a menya ne biribiara ɛmbia na awaregya anaasɛ sɛnea ɛkɔbaa no ntɔkwa abufuo anaa owuo koraa baabi ɔkɔwue na kyerɛ sɛ there could be something a ɛbɛma ne nti no mentumi nya ne hwee ɛmfa nka me deɛ ne ho na memfa ntoa anamo no so no sɛ ɛba ne saa a woka biribi ɔhɔ no manhyɛ da nte aseɛ yi anaa mante ne yie ɛba ne saa a ɛdeɛ mpɔten na ɔsɛ woyɛ na wo nso watumi agyina wo nan so
Yo, I'm say, yeah, audience could create the how is the process, but young pick it why
no
this our policy no buy young can be brief, then I will answer your question. Reason and retention of right, buy a good. Until Crawford more prepare run or mushroom only says into a life event this year, apart from our war, and so apart from our giants so ewo
sir
nti say me maame ode me buy and say me papa ode me buy no we wu a does it mean say we punish me because of death na aba no so na question is say I am a fault na no, so you can't punish me. And at that point, what do? Do I go back to my country or I stay in the UK? If I'm staying in the UK, will I stay based on my own right or based on my family member? No, I didn't buy no away no, and that's only what be any right. What about our rear? So our rear koba, that means being a lead to that. Uber punishing in panwa, ye done our no, or ye family member no, okay, 5 years and sponsor no, we done no. And now so say, Uber say, okay, so our rear koba there. Let's see how we can support family member no or pre-settled no. Nti mrano put in your consideration together. And I'm rano conclude says, "Sana etia dia say kobasa bibi esi owo our giant akwabadia. The children should not be punished, or the parents should not be punished. Say ayakwala na we fi mu a. Say our giants the spouses should not be punished. So mum punish one there, and the one be shine. You can say, yeah, punish you because right, is still protected. Now, sa reason mo de buy, wo de say, ube prove say, sa ade no esi ampa. To me prove there, now wo kwaya application. The reason why you are making the application, which is the why, is that it will not be fair for you to be punished and your right to continue to remain in the UK ceased just because BBSia and your fault. Our Jaya and your fault, Wu and your fault. In Tisanet, there is a good reason for your right to be preserved. Hence the reason for the retention. Now we go to how the process will work. And then a question back what I will decide to say. And it's our bia mo worry e wo UK o memu. Bia mo worry 2020. And now Obano ejina so de kwaje ne nkrata because papa obema no EU ni. Ya mo Obano 5 years pre-settled status. And now all trends say a D 5 years abokwa kwaje afebo indefinite. So 5 years no question is say ever start if he ebe start if time yama no 5 years no and say ebe start if time obeye the family member no. It will start from time obeye the family member no, which is the date of marriage. So mo worry e wo UK o memu a. So mo worry wo amanoni and na nipa no de ba dia it will start from time wa the nine ebe see UK soil so which is a visa stamp in the passport on arrival. So arrival date, for those who married and the person joined from abroad. And a marriage date for those who were living in the UK together and they married in the UK, either by proxy or by whichever means they married in the UK and they were together at the time before an application. So it is residence based. Residence based. Now, to your question in an scientist say, "Oh, koba," and I say, "Roger koba." Evidence be na me putu me de become application and I say me fa evidence be anko. What the evidence be ko? Because before our no begu and I say owo ni baba no, na woni ni pare na ti. Your sponsor. So you have to prove up to the date event see here no.
This year.
Until up to the date of the supervening event. The date of supervening event. Say you who are date of death. Say our date of divorce. But with
Okay.
divorce, there is a bit of explanation because before a divorce, a bit take place, be an separation abadada. Maybe they were separated for 6 months before divorce proceedings started. Until up to the date of separation, because the people who separated pen about 20 until in can be more now we're not akoba. The son that there I usually argue from the date of separation because that is the data was sponsor if you will life. But before that date of separation there, you were together, just will provide the evidence.
Okay. Saa na ɛteɛ. Ade no nyinaa kɔyɛ sɛ ɔsɛ wokyerɛ wo provide evidence no say date say ɛna adekode a anaasɛ separation anaa divorce no yɛhyɛ aseɛ no nti na megyina so na me nso maka sɛ ayɛ biara no yɛgyae deɛ nanso matumi nso ayɛ m'afa mu deɛ na mpɛ sɛ mereturn. Lawyer Asma, yɛate ɛhɔ no aseɛ na menim sɛ ahyɛ daa ansa me question no sɛ yes sɛ wobɛfa saa process no na wode ayɛ nti ɛno saa no sɛ ɛba ne sɛ wobɛyɛ saa application no a wɔhu sɛ nipa no a wante ne nka naa no menim sɛ answer because I said me so satisfied with the answer na menya no. Nipa na wonte ne nka na okọ na ma separate. What to me provide date there. But se ba ne se wonya ne hwe emfa enka wo de ne ntoa so ho ne me burden kakra no. Mpacho menim se otimase de a.
Pacho no na wo kyerɛ mu no na o point no so na enye clear ma me. Pacho na wo say exactly what?
Okay, mema scenario no na enkyere mu kakra. Me de nipa na atena ya separate anaasɛ ya divorce so. Metumi anya divorce no ɛda yɛ divorce so yɛ date no. Na on sɛ application bia sɛ wokɔ akɔtoa so mbia mekɔgye mepɛ sɛ mehu sɛ ma return me right no. Abra wefi me nkyɛn sɛ ne ɛbɛyɛ a memetua akwantuo ne so anaasɛ metumi ayɛ me further application. Na saa divorce certificate ne nko ara no ɛno no one mɛyɛ deɛ ehu sɛ metumi return me right mɛyɛ deɛ mehu say abra me kunu ana me yire ana me ma me wafi me life mu yi sa metumi kire date no e den na be kire say metumi retain me right eno ne first one and afen so some person metoa sa akwanto ne so a den na say me because embia na menya ne bibia amfa nka ma application no ho nti ho na me bisa den na say me ye na me fa entoa ma akwanto ne so.
Yo, that's a bebre. Just like anything. BBC, I will say BBS.
Mm.
Say, we your application. We will say why your application because you have reference number. Say, who did you? We will say who did you because a journey is to win utin ako
Mm.
wenum.
Mm.
Say, who jare? We say who jare because we didn't see you echo. All I'm saying is say, we will say BBS.
Okay.
And at the cost of nyesi automatically signing
Mm-hmm.
panel our life muna will depend on for your residence when you life maybe
Any hope you. Mm.
the moment you are depending if you life muno your rights will continue because the
Okay.
fact that if you life doesn't mean say your right to residence has ceased, it has been
Okay.
retained. So retention
Okay.
of right, and yet
Mm.
it simply means
Mm-hmm.
that the sponsor no new hobby more, you still have your
Mm.
life to live in the UK.
Yeah.
So sponsor no new hobby more, you can still make an application. So sponsor
Okay.
no new hobby more, visa na yedema wa EU family member visa no will
Mm.
continue because that visa has been
Right.
retained right as
Right.
a family member of an EU national. Now,
Mm.
back to point now we make no. Now we
Mm-hmm.
know say esi a we say esi because
Mm.
our ni egu a we say our egu
Mm.
divorce certificate evidence. Nti wuntumi ka say our egu
Mm.
abra who need divorce certificate. And I want to make us say you have retained your right whilst nothing has happened.
Mm.
If nothing has happened, yeah, then there's no right to retain. The
To
right is
retain.
still there.
Okay. Okay.
The right no
Mm.
no say
Ah. And to me, yes. Mm-hmm.
it has to be retained. You have to
Mm.
stay. What they
Okay.
say, oh Abba, our Abba, that
Mm-hmm.
permission me no must
What's
remain.
it? Uh-huh. Woka ne saa na afei woba yɛn die mu ɔn sɛ ɛyɛ ana borɔfo no nti aseɛ no wɔkyerɛ kakra ma yɛn no ɛyɛ binom nti no ma afei na mate ɔhɔ no ase yie meda ase yie paa etiefoɔ sɛ afei no madwɛn ne ya yɛgu so a yɛreka saa yiyu settle status based on return rights na ne sisi a lawyer asma akyerɛkyerɛ mu paa ma akwalaa koraa gyina nkyɛn a ɔbɛte aseɛ sɛ biribi bɛsi biribi kudu na esi yɛ no nti no ɛno kyerɛ sɛ wontumi ɛntena biom anaa daabi ɛnɛ adeɛ no kyerɛ sɛ adekode nsi koraa no a still a ahoɔden no a wowɔ no a wode tena no ɛda so ɛwɔ hɔ ɛno ne you still retain your right no ɛnti no yɛbɛkɔ yɛnim lawyers ma meda ase papaapa sisi a no sɛ yɛba bɛtwe yɛn ho ɛfiri me nua anaasɛ ntease a yɛnya wɔ ha no merita ne me right deɛ mehu ɛkwan a mefaa so mehu nea meyɛɛyɛ anaasɛ sɛnea ɛbaeɛ a mɛtumi de return me right na mmerɛ pii no sɛ yɛka retention of right na nea memete asɛ ne sɛ na kyerɛ sɛ wonyaanya wo indefinite nti adekode a ɛbɛboa wo a wobɛtumi akɔ akɔgyina so de anya wo indefinite na ɛno na yɛka sɛ wo retain wo right no anaa na sɛ saa na ɛteɛ deɛ a yɛnhwɛ mfiri ha sisi a no metumi retain me right lawyer asma sisi a mpɛ sɛ metoa akwantuo ne so mekɔ akɔ yɛ my further application so it could be indefinite leave to remain mpakyɛ ɔka biribi
Me too.
okay nti mefiri ha na mekɔ akɔyɛ saa application no wɔakyerɛ sɛ mewɔ ahoɔden mewɔ license anaasɛ mewɔ ahoɔden a yɛbɛtumi de ayɛ saa na mmom mekɔ akɔyɛ application no yɛbisabisa me nneɛma saa application nim sɛ dodoɔ no a woka sɛ woankasa woyɛ wɔ adeɛ a woanhwɛ a na watototo paapaa so ama no ankɔyɛ yie nti lawyers ɛna ɛbɛtumi ayɛ de ama wo na mmom lawyers no nso bɛnya wo menim sɛ answer na obeye, you need few evidences how the betre now address ukwa kwaji indefinite no. Na we na me kunu na maame na me ne tena na se me written me right there my bibia si because yes application no me nya ne bibia but bibi stress still a metumi aye application no enti eba ne sana me koye application e den na o se me
Yo, enti na wobetumi ayɛ ne sɛ edikan hwɛ sɛ wobre aso sɛ wokɔgye indefinite anaa sɛ wobre nso yɛ a wontumi ɛnyɛ application no nti woma yɛhyɛ ɛwɔ no nso wo 5 years no aso anaa sɛ nso yɛ a don't start sɛ aso a you can start over start in the last 28 days another last 1 month no a ade no ebewu no now yehu ɛhɔ no yate ase sɛ saware no gu a it doesn't mean say aware no gu nti sa da na aware no gu ye wunya divorce certificate na with the retention ekotum abra wo 5 years na enso ye no you can't do that to mention so and na owuo no ba it doesn't mean say wunya death certificate na with the kotum no time enso ye we are ye besa am 5 years biem no ma ka try say your time is not yet up for indefinite indefinite under paragraph EU 11 of Appendix EU to the immigration rules. Like I said, so what's now UK for 5 years, you qualify for indefinite. To your application now, you indefinite. But I want to 5 years. Now we say, me returning me right because we are then it doesn't make sense because we time in soon here. We say retention of right, and your application. Nimbum, indefinite leave to remain application on the basis that we need evidence because BBI then equity from a certain date. Now, the next thing is say now we are looking at the how. Over your application. To maybe someone said before I didn't be seen. Then the say me family member no na ewo. So or you know then the say one nati. Proof of living together. Just like before, now we require pre-settled now your amount of 5 years. No, we be prove up to date. So as there no a see we retain your right. Then say owu nso a we be prove say before anipa no be wu no na woni na ho anasa woni ni ho. It's important. Untumi nka say owu endra nanso. For the past 1 year, no, many evidence be doesn't mean say now we need new ana you see a very so woman me and say papa as I say we show certain evidence so we need na again of course you say dependency there in court a rule say untumi use dependency and friend refuse to obi because oye adwuma ono anye ne sika or the share no. But you still have to show say when your family member no who a relationship be and that's a connection be. And dependency is not just about sika. It's also about emotional support, guidance and direction, care. And the no nipa no be a woba no another woman na won na no why when you juma we no bia osika kra a dose say woman me there until you don't need your mom or your dad's financial support but you still need your mom or your dad's guidance and support, emotional guidance and then psychological support, counseling no and you know a dependence maybe. Into the question is say before nipa no ebe that support from them to prove your dependency. Into say nipa no unni evidence be just na won o ma me na ti when your papa no nati before obe wudi a na ebeye din remember say e won so enso again because you see na can say first you have to show the original evidence until say owu na aba ka obe show evidence for 5 years but because of owu and that's our giant aba nti you cannot show evidence for 5 years. So you have to show evidence up to the date event, So you can't say you don't have anything for the past 5 years. And we are then when you first 5 years, And then when you first 5 years, does it mean that when you are now what's a No, no, so baby, you were living together before you divorced. You were living together before death came. So what do you have to show? Say everything was fine before something happened. So after the event, you don't have to show anything. But before the event, you must show something.
Afei na yɛate aseɛ yie. Na obi question bi sɛ obi koraa mpo asan bisa ɛwɔ platform ne so sɛ the things you have to get to add up with the application. Nti Grace, sɛnea aha na lawyer Asma akyerɛkyerɛ mu no, ehia papaapa. So, ehia, I mean, it answers your question. Nti, on this case, no, efutuo kakra a ɛwɔ ha a ɔsɛ yɛhyɛ ne nso a ɛbɛboa. Menim sɛ dodoɔ na that EU settle status application and I say pre-settle application no nkurɔfo bebree kyerɛ sɛ nkurɔfo ayɛ I don't think say afei na obi bɛyɛ ba bɛyɛ pre-settle status application I don't think so sɛ bi wɔ hɔ deɛ lawyers man menim but from time a Brexit ho nsɛm ne ade bɛdu ɛnɛmmere mu menim sɛ dodoɔ na ankasa ayɛ these kinds of application ɔmo ayɛ. Enti no sɛ application a wɔde kan yɛ na ansa na wobɛyɛ EU no ebusuani no a yɛma wo either sɛ pre-settled na anaasɛ wei no settled status anaasɛ or sɛ those documents na ehia nkasa because sɛ ɛmomo tete a na woanya hwee koraa sɛnea lawyer Asma kyerɛ sɛ up to time a momo tete yɛ no ɛne ɔsɛ wokyerɛ sɛ na mote together. Enti no sɛ afei na wokɔ mu di a ɛne nipa ko no bɔ mmɔden a sɛ fie baako na moti a monyɛ nneɛma mbobɔ no kyerɛ sɛ mo te together sɛnea ɛbɛyɛ a sɛ mo tete a wowɔ that evidence na to time a mo teteyɛ no sɛ ɛyɛ owuo sɛ ɛyɛ awaregyaeɛ sɛ ɛyɛ separation no you have the evidence from the day one a motena yɛ up to time a saa event no esi no ɔhɔ na ehia paa hɔ ɛna nso na lawyer Asma akyerɛkyerɛ mu ato ne bo ase ama yɛnya ho nti ase lawyer Asma yɛda ase nti na kyerɛ sɛ from ɔhɔ no onya saa nneɛma no ɛde ka ho deɛ a ebetum because ɛno nti na yɛsɛ you've retained your right no abratama nipa no efiri wɔ abrabɔ mu yo adeɛ ɛmo ɔde paa dodoɔ na mo aba so mesrɛ mo ani di mo share program ne ma me na mo like page no na afei nso no mo subscribe to our YouTube channel no every Friday bia Thursday Friday Saturday bia BWF Solicitors the education ɛmo ɔde say ɛde betu dwa all platforms no enti no mo share na mo like na mo subscribe na ɛbɛboa yɛn nyinaa last my mene ko nti ebekọ yenim enche bia mebie telephone lines e de atum se ne be ya embia na questions a me ewo menum no enno na enka wo de ho ba also wo bia opese obisa na lawyer Asma eyi ano e de ama nti enche bia just about the next 5 minutes no mebie lines no se ne be ya wo so betumi abo awremu na wo bisa wo question na yeyi ano enhye da emfa ho se ne ye can retention of rights the what, the why, and the how, no, and who some now person be some found, but to be a question, bia or bia, lawyer Asma ebe and no at the amount. Ain't till do ma mesa eda was saying an ajimanya men shroud. Dodo na mabaso nya men shramo, ya can say, it can be maybe so question and chibia why, na Sandra Fraser, good morning to you, as well. Me did say, oh, ye, would the can say information to get to BWF Solicitors, you know, they are better platform ne so ne be ya ebeboa dodo no opese wo hu lawyer Asma just after the program now you can always call him and as a book an appointment with the secretary no na amount time na lawyer Asma emfro na oni ne nye mo consultation no eboa ehia na ebeboa won so enti ye koye nim me bisa me last question na last month sisi ano metumi retain me right me hu me the water e ma me retain ye me hu why e ma me retain na me hu how a metumi e de akọ nim based on me retention no sisi ano eto de bia na individual application embia na enye nipa baako ana nipa mienu yenim se we no obi de e na me te ho kakra e de ama wo. Enti, 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 Sisia no, na me depend on me maame ana me papa na ma retain me right. Na me retain me right na me kwaya application no. Emoa na me nso me kofa nyinsen ana se me ko ware obi. Me ware obi no. Anche bia na maame no ana papa na nipa kwa me depend on no. Ofi ma brabo mu. Sisi a me return me right there na me koya application nipa ko na ono nso abeka me ho no ono nso ne gina bia ene sen ana ono de entumi enka ne ho entumi emfa ontumi ngina me so we ni obi dadwen na ogina ne ma me so ena ono nso so ware o sempra twe o oni obi foforo aka ne ho enti aha no menim say ye trick kakra na obi question ode abetu menim lasma eden no say oye.
Yo, wait na
Mhm.
ente ubeti ehono kakra amame. Last bit na waka ya no mpacho.
Yo, any say, me jina me maame so, ana me papa so, na me de retain me right, ana me more retention of right no. Abra me pese me come ni mo no, na omo wo ho, enti na me nim se me wo right. Na mom, anche bia na me kofa oba, ana me kofa obema, ebe ka me ho. Ebe ka me hui, me maame ana papa ye free mu. Omo free mu yi, mitumi retain me right. Na mom obi abeka me ho. Se me koya application ni papa abeka me ho no ne gina bia ne sen
Yo, nti nipa na obeka ho sasan sa wo yere anasa wo kunu anasa wo ba.
me ba
Nti yefan say wo kuta 5 years pre-settled.
sa
And obviously, so we retain you right now another application for indefinite after 5 years there when you're indefinite.
na
So
me
when
ye
you when you 5 years,
mhm
ukuta wow. Wow, ubetumi put you have two options. Either say ubetchen when you're indefinite now wa register wo ba no to
mm
become a British citizen. And now so say Ubaka okay, and there may your application on the basis, but remember, one umame and as a papa no if you at that time,
mm
apalane na nani ho.
mhm
Apalane ni na nana waka say, ni na nano gino atinemu as a
okay
grandchild.
mm
Na nano ewu, because that's your
okay
grandmother or grandfather. That
yes
grandparent is dead. So
mm
our grandparent is dead, The only thing you have is your divorce, your the death certificate of that family member.
yeah
You can, if it is
mhm
necessary, so over your application, you can
mhm
argue on the basis that let me go to 5 years.
mhm
5 years, maybe I know is based on my parent. But
mhm
Sakalawi, the grandparent were and can
mhm
obejina the so application. However,
mhm
there's another argument to say
mhm
Akwala no yɛ wo no after Brexit. Na Akwala no yɛ wo no so na maame no anasa papa no wewu.
okay
And now the relationship between papa no awewu anasa maame no awewu ne Akwala no any hɔ bio.
ah
Because one met Akwala no meto ne nana no.
ameto ni nana
Yes, but what do we do for Akwala way? Say let's put in application for
mhm
5 years pre-settled for this child. But then it
mm
will be a technical argument.
okay
It will be a technical argument, say, and yet owu ne baya nka the
enka
grandparent would have sponsored
done it
the child's application.
okay okay
But there's death. So can we
mm
rely on the death certificate? Would the child
mm
also retain a right? But did this child have any rights
at all
at all? This
say
child didn't really have any right because one met the grandparent.
okay
And now,
mm
when your application for 5 years out, or what's what, the
mm
grandparent, 83.
mm
So, on the argument about retention of rights for the child, it will be
mm.
difficult.
Wow.
But argument I will make here and say, okay, can we make a discretion for Apalawi? Say, on my menu, and I say, Yes, parents, of course. Now, my no
Mm.
kuta 5 years, apply on the back of the strength of only 5 years.
Okay.
And in the interest of Aqualano, best interest of Aqualano. So I would say, oh, man, farm Aqualano, that means Aqualano is a unify UK.
No
Meanwhile,
one this one.
the mother
Yeah.
cannot be removed. The mother
Mm-hmm.
cannot be removed because the mother at least can retain her right after the
That's
5 years.
correct.
And
Mm.
so, if the mother can remain based on the law,
Mm-hmm.
should we remove the child from the UK
Mm-hmm.
or we should let the child stay in the UK based on
Mm.
the discretion of the law?
Of the
There will be
law.
discretion of the law. Discretion.
Discretion. Hey, not just a BBA solution or ho. Into the difficult aspect, and say, a cobani say, or yere, and also kunua, and no so be as and fofro. The same scenario, no, but this case, nenye aqualano, but makwa worry, and I makwa warranty, mak okuno no, and answer or yere no, based on my 5 years now, me married telling me right, no, or no, so to me can na,
No, but we
I ask
will retain your right. We will retain your right yet.
me returning
Based on me 5 years now, maybe be retaining my right,
me right,
because you're
no.
only going to retain your right once you are due for indefinite.
Okay.
If you are not due for indefinite, you haven't retained any right. But technically, bibi ekwesi. Nti ade na esi ni nti, so person we application you
One
can
return.
apply on the basis say. So in the retention of rights, a operational, a legal argument I will put it in.
Okay. Okay.
Nti etiefo ne ahwefo moma yenhwe ehɔ no so say
Mm-hmm.
you can say retention of right and your application be a wo kwa akoye. Na aka say me koye retention of rights.
Abby.
Number one, application for indefinite
It's
because your right has been retained
retain. Okay.
because of that event.
I see.
Now, I mean, we use those expressions. Into what
Yeah.
the senior year wa
Mm-hmm.
ware wa wo. Wo
Mm-hmm.
de o papa no a wo maame na oji wutina mu no oni hɔ bio. But
Mm-hmm.
when you say we indefinite there by all means betumi akoye.
Okay.
Which is good because what you can apply for indefinite using
Okay.
evidence of what has happened. But,
Mm.
but what about your child? Your child,
Now your
you can
husband.
apply for Obano.
Mm-hmm.
Now I you say, so me mean to me, MFI UK and call me Chrome dear, and
Mm-hmm.
the more consider me bay, even though legally no, me bano any acquaint biya.
Say ya can uba no deal no. But see I make say ukunu no and answer we ne dear na America. Akwala ne dear dear. Ye huso ye wachechi
So
mama ye huso.
what ware for fro.
Eh.
Oh, right. Okay.
And you know,
Interesting point.
obi
Yeah.
obi
Okay.
obi obi live
Obi
event,
Asam
obi
no no.
live story
Yeah.
pa oni me a
Yeah.
discussion
Wow.
eh.
Wow. Okay. Now
Mm,
let's break it down.
yeah.
Into mene ona ewo ho. Ona
Mhm.
woji mi tena mu. Nti una
Yeah.
we yi uni. Na woji
Sir.
mi etena mu. Aware
Mm,
no egu. But even though aware no egu no, media be evidence say yetena bo mu ansa aware no gu. And aware no ye wo divorce, menya divorce certificate. Nti me time so I will move on. And because of love, because
mm,
of love, I have
mhm.
gone to remarry. Yes, sir.
That's yes.
I've
Okay,
remarried.
me I won't can no yeah, sir, but we can different a scenario. Maybe
No, the
I
same
got it from my parents. Okay.
oh, you got it from your parents. And our
Eh
parents in a film.
but my ma ko ware. Ene yawo.
But are you asking for this for Bemano and I say, oh, asking for Aqualano?
No, akwala ni de aka wi. Obema
Yeah,
na
into
akọ
Bemano.
ware no.
Exactly. And the same as example I made a no. Aware,
Okay.
yati one last year, then we can apply it to death.
Matiasi, Matiasi.
Nti
Okay.
me ne wo no yɛntɛm atete but
Sir.
me okay. Me five
Mhm.
years no so I can still go because I have
Mhm.
divorce certificate.
Sir. Mhm.
Oba no oba me life mu no oni nkrataa
Debbie. Mhm.
but wakai sɛ tama me ne me yere wo hɔ no yɛma me 5 years.
Mm.
Me nso wo deɛ no na me still a ekura me boa.
Sa.
Nti sɛ meka sɛ mekɔyɛ ama no a me na meyɛ ama no anasɛ ne kora no na ɔyɛ ama no.
Ah.
You see, so the point I'm making is the point I'm making is say
Uh-huh.
yeah, me to me your application man no.
Sa.
Because me the 5 years based on me yira we no
Uh-huh. Okay.
based on me yira no na be 5 years.
Sa.
The 5 years no so I'm quite indefinite.
Sa. Mhm.
Ma me yira ewu
Mhm.
after morning I have
Mhm.
remarried.
Sa.
And
Mhm.
now me yira no e ka say oh and the me kunu say okra put 5 years. And
Sa. Uh-huh.
sponsor me. Sponsor me.
Uh-huh. Sa.
Now, me make
Mhm.
her say, do I have the strength to sponsor this new spouse? No,
Spouse, Anna. No.
because
Okay.
no, because one, I don't have indefinite.
Sa.
Two, I'm
Mhm.
not an EU national myself,
Okay.
and
Mm.
because of that, I cannot be a qualifying partner. And
Mm.
because I cannot be a qualifying partner, I cannot sponsor this lady who has
Lady.
come
Okay.
into my life. Until I meet
Mm.
this, I said, would the lady depend on me or depend on the uh,
Akwala na wabe mu no.
kind of rival, the rival now we will know. Rival now we will know. You cannot depend on her to say so. You also have retention. So you, the new person, you can't have retention. The retention
Ah,
is only for near Ocha Warena Senwa,
I see.
our Negu, and I say, Obano Efimuno. Now
Mm.
let's extend it. Extend it to senior worker no me papa na ɔde maa me.
Mm.
And I said me maame na ɔde maa me. Na me
Sa.
maame efim. Me
Mm.
maame efim no anka na normal circumstance. Me maame efim no anka sɛ me ho kye me. Ka sɛ me
Eh.
nkrataa no me
Eyi.
time so a ɔmmɛka sɛ your parent is no longer alive so we cannot give it to you. But under
Mm.
EU mmara no yɛbɛtumi de ama wo because owuo no ama we retain your right for future.
Sa. Mhm.
But me retaining me right no, me nko ara na me retaining ye.
Uh-huh.
Nti sɛ
Okay.
makɔ akɔware a, me
Mhm.
yere no ntumi nka sɛ my
Obedina.
in-law who is dead.
Mhm.
You see, my in-law who
Matthias.
is dead should also transfer powers to me. No,
Okay. Okay. Yes. Yes. It makes sense now. Yeah.
good. Because one, this lady, even if the in-law no wɔ hɔ koraa, nka ntumi ɔnyɛ ma no anyway.
Enya. Oh,
Because
okay.
there is nothing for in-laws.
Mm.
There used to be, but even now it's quite because in-law is also
A
a
family
daughter
member.
or a son, a
Okay.
daughter-in-law, a son-in-law, mother-in-law, father-in-law. But do
Mm-hmm.
they have the same right as the biological child? No. The
No.
laws have the case law now. It can be divided. In some breath,
Mm-hmm.
you can argue and get it. In another breath, you argue and they say no. And
Mm.
even that, a technical, sanka
Okay.
mamene chase won't mean can say you are applying to remain with your in-law. Meanwhile,
Mm-hmm.
who husband, and that's a wife,
Mm-hmm.
is also relying on the parents as
To
an over 21 dependent, right?
dependent. Yes. Yes.
And at the moment you have your own family, you cannot
Mm-hmm.
be a dependent.
Uh-huh.
So even if the in-law is still alive, kabaya din
Uh-huh.
say wobetumi abaka ho bi.
Uh,
Let alone the in-law is dead. Even if
uh-huh.
alive is
And then
difficult, how
what's it?
can you
What's
come
it?
in when alive and when
Mm,
dead? So no, ewo no.
mm. Okay. Yɛate aseɛ. But yɛnim nso sɛ ɛno nso nkyerɛ sɛ biribiara sɛ ɛnneɛ sɛ ɔsɛ wobɛtwɛn woanya indefinite na afei woakɔka ne ho ɛnti no ɛme deɛ saa na advice na mede ma sɛ ɛne ɔntwɛn akwalaa no a wabɛ mu no ɛne ne kunu no ɔntwɛn ɔmonyɛ ɔmo indefinite a na afei wakɔ akɔyɛ ama no sɛ nte saa nso a yes okay mmerɛ ne kɔ no nti no mɛbie telephone lines now I know there are a whole lot of questions based on this particular topic a yɛaka no but mbia mmerɛ no nso a ɛkɔ no sɛ bɛmɛtiefoɔ kwan na ɔmo nso ɔmo mbrɛ mu bi so no numbers a yɛde bɛdi dwa no ɛyɛ 07399208468 anaasɛ wobɛtumi afrɛ 075 96620 na wait to me ebisa o question me so be eja voice note e wa ha mehwehwe voice note no na membo na yentie but before mebo no menkan Jack Mo in Jack Mo say Jack Mo. I hope say my boy didn't correct but of me say yes sir. I say good morning auntie and lawyer. As an EU person settled in the UK with settlement status, do I need to provide my passport to support my child registration as British, or can I just reference my settlement? Lasma, yenya in Kamo, Jackmo, what? The question here.
Right. I mean, when you are applying for a passport for your child, you first have to show that Akwalano are British. And under Section 1 of the British Nationality Act 1981, or say, whilst the child is still a child. Oh, okay. So one, the first part is that before the child was born, the parent has indefinite. If the parent has indefinite before the child was born, the child is British by birth. Question: is it true that the parent, Jack Moore or whoever, whether it's the man or woman, is it the case that this person has indefinite leave to remain before the child was born?
Mm,
If yes, the person will have to provide the indefinite leave to remain.
okay.
Because it is the indefinite leave to remain that will show that Section 1 of the British Nationality Act 1981 has been met.
Mm, I see. All right.
And the question is simple. What do I show? Show that you
Mm,
have indefinite. And your
and
indefinite
one.
number, no, then EUSS settled status na yɛde maa wo no. And as I
Mm,
said, what they say, akwalaa no application no,
mm,
woyɛ the passport application and then ada akwalaa no birth certificate. So these are two critical evidence.
mm. Okay, yeah, that's it. And Jack Mo, I hope say what lawyer Asma say very simple. Yentie win so.
What mental crowd?
Oh, oh, nti wa ho.
Baby.
All right, my main bonne wa ha. Em say because any system no monte no and abanisa, but let's see if we can hear from here.
Good morning, oh. And I'm a senate, my palm of Bomoma, and Yamin Stam on Yamakase, loyally, Yamin Stam. My question is 2020 2021 Tassiano, Medica HMRC, and 2021 to 2 some Quadecacra. Nti na flashing me ho nti HM for the can buy na nti ma sha se omni me nya arrangement bia nti me poso me na me tua ne kakra nti me kuso me nwie ba me na me tua nti me say me buy me citizenship application next month nti no e bit na koso problem ama me na me ko omni me nya arrangement me na me tua ne poso bia me tete na kakra we 2000 na we so 1000 the effect wa na pacho the talk on say secondly no first minute no kafo me partner ana me no ho no ne nya police issue kakra ma social for them ama ye sort to me no further action am arrest him no yang process case tan ko anya me tin me indicate to say chimney say jam na case no further evidence mu jam na patron me da sepa no me question me be say me busa.
Okay, lawyer Sampacha Ote.
I'm so say or the car and a otia me boy.
And second question here, police case no.
Okay, nti o the car na otia there and send there. I mean, I buy crowd the car. Nti any there any big deal, sir. Why?
I say
The next
a
one, no,
cano
police.
a
What's it?
cano enye HR for no na ehihye ma no no ano hu say ye de brand so di cano nti na every month we twabo a oguso a otia nti e be affect na.
Na me say a car there obiara di bi. Na ehia ne say wenya wait so a car no mu say ubetia what we call
Na otia.
commitment and responsibility. And why
Okay.
that's fine. It doesn't. And of course, the question is that if you say, do you owe?
Mm-hmm.
But even though he owes, he's paying.
Yes.
Arrangement, no problem.
Okay.
Now, the next one, no, arrest, no. Oh, your
Sir.
application for naturalization, this one say, have you ever been no, a listing your be so no,
Mm,
say arrest,
mm,
Into arrest, woman, the other say yes. No, I say
mm-hmm,
I was arrested for this. There
mm-hmm,
was no charge, and I
mm-hmm.
was left to go.
Okay.
Nothing happened. But obi
Mm,
omo you're charging no.
mm,
Now we didn't when you need to didim. Obi so omo almost say no further action. So near okay, no.
mm,
No further action, but doesn't mean say omo arrest no.
mm.
Into to arrest na buy na we check list no. Now who say arrest there? Say
Mm-hmm.
yes and explain.
Okay. Okay.
As arrest
That's
ni list
mm-hmm.
no good there. So arrest
Mm,
ni list no so there. Then
mm.
it doesn't apply to you.
Apply to you. Nti saa criminal conviction ne ade lawyers ma yɛmfa ne sɛ woyɛ saa application no, but you know wokae sɛ you've ever had an encounter with the police ebi anaa wokɔ court na ade but akyɛ mɛfa ne sɛ 20 years ago wonkae ɛno ara sɛ you remember sɛ biribi saa siiɛ na woyɛ saa application how do you say now be put to say yes, you've been arrested before, but won't kai what happened? And na a hono a yasifim kakra. Dear now say, oh, yeah, a banisana, our application is so.
Yeah, application no the date was so there. So the date no so date no be my day, month and year. And it's what
Mm-hmm.
the okay month and year no. Now what the no so na a fadia na fa. But some fadia na just say okay all three dates no. Day, month and year. And no say no a fact. Obi antimi emphasize information no emma wo. This a wa na
So, say
then
what your date, you know, and what your MBA okay say January 2020 and not January 2000. But on kai date na on kai day na ka ho na. Na bia wo outro say 1st January 2000 no. Na say omoko check na bia na enye sa will it go against you? Say
what okay, I got a point. Anti ufi hoa, ufi date no obaka say describe what happened or give further information.
okay.
Anti further information when I obey you say bia say na see and na
Mhm.
ekoba say bia you
Mhm.
arresting me. There was no further action. So it ended.
Mhm.
But because there's bit about date, you want
Mhm.
to show them say one kai until we
Mhm.
be na then sure.
I
So
shall.
you have to make them aware say it happened long time ago.
Mhm.
My memory, as far as I can recall, it happened
Mhm.
in the 2021,
Mhm.
2022, or whatever the date is. I'm
Mhm.
not certain about the date I have provided.
Mhm.
But as far as so then they know, say what the date
Okay.
now but when you're
Okay.
100%.
Sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
and no. Ohun to me can say we can draw because what you say
Uh-huh.
if you
Yes.
ache document be a document ni na and when people won
I
kai
see.
but what kai
Mm,
say a year be say but application
mm,
no ama wo a kwan say wo di year pen e be so you have
mm,
put down a day and a month
mhm,
wo a year will stay yes sir
mhm,
but you when you
mm.
sure.
Okay, so ne nyinaa yɛ explanation ɛwɔ saa further explanation no hɔ no. Nti wotumi ka saa adeɛ no wɔadedi wo tirim na nkɔba ne sɛ woatwa ntorɔ ɛwɔ application no so. Nti wo a wotie me saa na ɛteɛ. Yo, yɛnkɔ yɛnim sɛ caller bi baa line no so but sɛ ɔde ato so nti menka Nana Kwaku question a ɔde aba no. Ɔse, is it true that you can do indefinite application after 2.5 years and the EU new from July 2025? Hey.
I don't
Not just
understand the
a
question.
July new, no, not just a new policies be about from July into bisa say no crash say obetuma indefinite application. Mbia watiti say you for no say 2.5 na wo kra na with the new policies na aba no obetumi akwa indefinite no kra na.
Oh, I'm say sir there na I call around and say sir no correct.
Enti sir.
Now more can it say so we EU ni and as a EU family member, now what's your mind more? There's something called continuous residence.
Mm.
Continuous residence no can no na 2 years. Continuous. So we call sorry, absence.
Mhm.
Continuous 2 years continuous absence. Into we call baby 3 years continuously there.
Mhm.
More or less no more patch and say one person will bet na UK BM.
Mm.
Because one person will na UK and can won two and baby for more than 2 years.
2 years.
And one
Okay.
no more simplify no say. So 2 years continuous no be anipa no call no yare akọbọ no for 2 years.
Mm.
Emma na borrow. Untumi punish no. So there should be a reason. But that time no it appears say and yet a 2 way because 5 years, not 2 years absent. What about 3 years no it's not UK no. Santi
Mm.
no mark I say about 2.5 years absence. We okay. So you can be absent for 2.5 years. And the 2.5 years should not be the same time. A bit me different time I would too kwan kwatena baby near idea 1 year, 6 months, all put together shouldn't be 2.5. Remember,
Yeah.
ukwaye naturalization ya residence assessment, absence assessment, 450 millimeter or 200 and something for other people. However, you for no my say absence period should be 2.5 years if you are also indefinite. I don't know for say what's name 2.5 years I'll back indefinite. No. Say
And
why you're absent, your
mm.
absence should not be more than 2.5 years.
Yes. Mm.
Otherwise, you cannot apply for indefinite. That's all.
Wow. Ɛne nteaseɛ no na ɛyɛ ana menka wei a ɔde asɛne aba direct ɔse as I'm a parent and attending my grandson naming ceremony in UK. Sorry, Miss Anka. Say I'm a parent and attending my grandson naming ceremony UK. I registered my business in June this year. Tax payment, invoices, receipt, and everything supplied to home office and application submitted in July to prove home ties. Will it raise an alarm to home office because of close timing of application? Sɛ wobie business ne June ɛna woyɛ application in July nti obisa sɛ home office foɔ ɔmɛyɛ ɔmo ani baako sei anaa? meyɛ kasa ala asoma sɛ
So
mate
is
me
it
aseɛ.
so this obi ejuma no and now
June
or you say ejuma no for then
for application no ɔde ne tax
is it
payment invoice
if as a self-employed.
ɛneɛ wanka but ɔse ɔde adwuma ho nkrataa ɛyɛ tax payment invoice receipt and everything supplied to home office and application supply in nti na kyerɛ sɛ ɔse to prove home ties na kyerɛ sɛ ɔwɔ biribi a ɔyɛ wɔ fie a ɛkyerɛ sɛ ɔba a ɔbɛsan akɔ ɛna wakɔyɛ
All right.
application no.
So
Mhm.
okay, like visitors visa.
Yes, yes. Mm.
Oh, okay. I mean, question is, what is your reason for starting the business? Is it to get a visa or to run a business for survival?
Mm.
Because why you with the business no and
Mhm.
now 1 month later, what
Mhm.
the kwaji we are. I mean, it depends on how the caseworker will see it, and even that in terms of ties, dear, the fact that what business no interest okwa obeba, and the
Mm.
fact that we need business no interest okwa wumba.
Mm.
About visitors application, be an niti. But so
Mm.
a business I will run it, and I will say business niti ukwa ubaba back there. Then the business should have been running for some time. Before the business, what were you doing? Because you need
Mhm.
at least this month's
Yeah.
profile. If it's a
Yes.
1 month that you're self-employed, that means that 6 months now in your share.
Na ɔyɛ den. Mm.
Without we are
Nti
then.
ne question sɛ ɔda so repeat. Last week we had a similar question. Na bra awotie me menim sɛ wo desperate sɛ wo parents ne mbɛsra ma wɔ UK no, but I think sɛ it's best you see the lawyers with wo ne nyinaa na yɛnhwɛ sɛ ɛbɛyɛ successful application. Visitors visa deɛ like lawyer Asma said obiara ne ne ti. Samuel Akintomide say, "Good morning, lawyer gurus. Yes, can I sponsor myself if my partner refused to renew my spouse visa for me? I'm am I a staff? I'm a staff of one of the UK leading supermarket. Question sounding familiar. Lawyers, mo bet me self-sponsor himself. Or say Nigeria is refusing to renew his spouse visa for Emmanuel.
Well, so self-sponsor there, all you have to do is to show that the company is licensed to sponsor workers. Nti sɛ adwuma no a woka ho ma yɛbie no ɛwɔ license na woyɛ adwuma ma saa adwuma no deɛ a, then of course you can apply. So the word can I? Yes, you can. But will it happen? Depends.
Okay. And Samuel, if you want to go further with this, please, you can contact the lawyers after the program, and I'm sure they will get back to you on this. Elijah Campbell, say hi, lawyer. What documents are required to prove 5 years continuous residence for naturalization? I think this, when you go, they are listed there. But lawyers, my yes, over to me, actually, say what documents are required.
Your natural excuse me. Excuse me. So for naturalization, documents depending on where you are coming from, because we have okay, so this naturalization, whether you are applying as a child, as a parent, somebody, everybody and their bit. But let me just look at the general position. Under section 6 of the Nationality Act, Schedule 1, Obaka say life in the UK. Obaka say naturalization, English language B1, B2, but at least B1. Obaka say you should not have had any criminal issues. Obaka say, as I said, we prove 5 years residence in the UK. And remember, we're talking about residence. So again, it depends on whether it is EU or not. But 450, 5 years evidence of living in the UK and evidence that you have not been away for 450, for more than 450 days. If it is the standard naturalization, if it is a British citizen who is applying to remain, who is naturalizing based on if it is somebody who is naturalizing based on the relationship with a British citizen, the period will be less than 450. So there are a whole range of things depending on where the person is coming from into the naturalization application. The key things for now, 5 years evidence, life in the UK, English language, and the rest will be dependent on their specific circumstance.
Okay, me say no, Auntie Grace. Oh, okay, Grace. Okay. Let me answer this before Grace one. Do you have to inform Home Office after the divorce certificate has been received? Where Kim Bros one, Kin. Not just say minim scenario won, but obisa say why divorce out the divorce certificate about say catch Home Office say me Home Office for you. Me divorce you, me divorce certificate na ba ana entisa.
I mean, I cannot say yes or no, depends on the circumstance. There are the default rule is that if the relationship is no longer subsisting, then you have to inform the
The
Home
Home
Office.
Office.
But even that, if that's the case, you don't have to wait up to the divorce stage. The moment muntemu and as aban aware. But again, depends on the specifics and to minim the specific circumstance.
Yeah.
I think it would be better for him to get one-to-one conversation time so that we discuss it. Then the woman, because I think he has a lot to ask or a lot to
Exactly.
share. But because of the platform, to me, and
Entertainment. Sir.
and it will be better so when your consultation time so that he can
Now,
openly express himself, then we can understand, ask further questions. Now you to me
no correct because me tears me divorce And then time in home office, I'm say my divorce. So until depending will be any situation, unless you've got something to do with the home office. Yo, I'm saying no court lawyers my no cra man, but because and they to me answer enter no yenya grace period kakra. Maybe sa grace question no na fi the main summarize idea yeah and then grace for so say please, if you are under EU settlement and you have not gotten your indefinite, can you bring your children from Ghana to join you, or you have to wait until you get your indefinite? Grace ne question ne lawyers man.
Yo, auntie, so ne kunu no na ti dia. Ne kunu betumi akɔfa nkwalaa no as stepfather to the children. Ɛna sɛ ne maame na ɔne ne maame anasa ne papa nso a grandparent no betumi akɔfa nkwalaa no as grandparent. And it depends on circumstance. But say you know dear want to me just apply to bring Nembano. Say okuta 5 years pre-settled into Okofa Nembaba. I just said parent, and I said spouse, and I'll best sponsor Nkwalano.
Yo, tiefoɔ na ahwɛfoɔ em sɛ aha na mmerɛ bɛma yɛn ho kwan na yɛmfa dwumadie no ɛmba wie na mmom ansa na yɛbɛba awieɛ no mɛsrɛ lawyer asma nɛ me sister baako me lawyer baako ɛyɛ lawyer Annie onia nti mebisa lawyer asma sɛ is there any way a yɛbɛtumi in just less than 2 minutes summarize the topic that we brought today in the English version so that we can also share to our neighboring countries no monty and kromukasano until last ma meto edi amount if we can because of time e back to me akoyini but if we can no bacho obe to me aye summary no edi amame.
Yo, right, sure. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, viewers and listeners, today's conversation, we looked at retention of right application. What is it? Why is that? And how does it work? We concluded that retention of right is a privilege under EU rules for family members whose relationships have been curtailed or ended because of death or divorce. It is not an application in itself, and therefore you use it as an argument when you are making your indefinite leave to remain application once your 5 years pre-settled is due. We've understood that to make this application, if you married in the UK and you had your first 5 years in the UK, then you can put in that application from the date of the marriage, which is the indefinite leave to remain, on the basis of your retention of right due to death or due to divorce. If you married abroad, then you have to wait once your 5 years is up from the date you entered the UK, the first day you entered the UK to start your residence. We've understood that you have to prove the evidence to support your indefinite leave to remain application. And the evidence must start from the beginning to the date that the relationship ended. And if the relationship ended due to divorce, then it will be date of divorce or date of separation. If the relationship ended due to death, then you have to provide evidence up to the date the person died. If you are not able to provide evidence up to that date of the event, then it will be difficult for you to prove that the relationship existed before that event. And so you can apply for indefinite leave to remain. Let's bear this in mind and always put together all the evidence we need up to the date of the event, death or divorce. Otherwise, the caseworker will say that you have not been able to prove that there was relationship before that event date. And so your right has been retained. It's also possible that they can even go back to your first application and check how you got it in the first place. if there's no evidence to prove the relationship at all. So in making this application, please take your time, gather your evidence, make sure you are due to put in that application before you do so. If you are not sure, remember to seek advice. But all in all, once there is cessation in relationship by death or divorce, your right will remain with you and you can apply for indefinite leave to remain under EU rules. Thank you.
Yo, lawyer Asma, you better say. For for I've seen number of questions unanswered. Ewa ha, Miss Ramoni Demo, and running to Mestre, Yame Aduma, Ochna, all these questions are Modiabano. Ye be ye ewa the community and the law, so Ochna 4 o'clock sharp. Now to 2 solid hours will answer these questions. And to make a date with us, men ko baby, just tune in as soon as you get the notification. Tune in. Na ebebisa wo question wɔ hɔ na wonya ho answer. Yo, aha na adwumadie no bɛma yɛn ho kwan na yɛde aba awieyɛ ɛtɔ de bi a na nneɛma agorɔ no yɛ dɛ no na obi se akwantufoɔ ɛkyɛ wɔ kwan mu. Me so me deɛ no. Mɛda mo nyinaa ase sɛ mo join yɛn na mo share yɛn na mo like page no na mo subscribe to our channels no nyinaa nyame enka yɛn ho. Next week same time no ebɛbɔ mmɔden na yɛde another beautiful educative topics ɛsan ɛde bɛba na ɛmboa yɛn na yɛn nyinaa yɛnya ho mfasoɔ. Media ne manyɛti hyia baabi a na ɔfrɛ manyɛti a megye wo so ɛnɛ me ne lawyer Asma ɛna di dwuma no na mmerɛ no aso sɛ yɛbɛsɔre. To have a lovely weekend na bɔ mmɔden a keep on sharing, keep on listening and keep on with us. Nyame nka yɛn ho. Bye bye.
Based in London, we are a dynamic award-winning firm specializing in a range of legal services. Welcome to BWF Solicitors, a trusted and experienced law firm specializing in immigration and nationality, appeals and judicial review, dispute resolution, family and matrimonial, and other family law disputes with international context. These include matters such as private child arrangement orders, contestant and uncontested divorce, non-molestation for domestic violence, and financial remedy. Our childcare and family team appreciate the issues facing you at such a difficult time. Our advice is delivered in a confidential and sensitive manner. Meet Bernard Owusu, our esteemed senior partner. With over 32 years of experience and known for his expertise and dedication to serving our clients and the community. BWF Solicitors stands for integrity, respect, excellence, teamwork, diversity, inclusion, and service to the community. We provide tailored assistance specific to your case. At BWF Solicitors, every day is filled with dedication, creativity, and a commitment to finding the best solutions for our clients. Our team at BWF Solicitors is ready to assist you with all your legal needs. You can find us at the 4th floor, Anna House, 214 to 218 High Road, Seven Sisters, London, N15 4NP. Our main office line is 0208 493 7340, or our emergency line is 07712 761 884.